I want to talk about a verdict in the news. Police officer in Ohio, I believe sometime in 2023 or 2024, there was a black woman shoplifting from Target. And they called police on her. And when the police approached her outside the Target, and they were trying to apprehend her, she got in her car. And the police officer told her to come out. And he said, if you start the car, I'm going to shoot you. And she started the car, and he shot and killed her. So now a police officer today was found not guilty. So I want to talk about what happened in the news from two angles. One of the first angles or approach is that black people's lives are not important to mainstream white society and the powers that be, which includes the legal system, U.S. government, and those law enforcement. Some would say she was in the wrong, and by moving the car could be considered as a dangerous weapon. And this, some say, it gave police officer a right to defend himself. But if you ever seen the video clip, you can see that he was definitely intending to kill her, and he could have let her drive away because they had the woman's license plates. They could have apprehended her at another time. And if this was a white woman who done this, they would have never shot her. They would have let her go and apprehend her at a different time from her license plates number on her car. So from 2 points I want to talk about from this action of this police found not guilty of killing the black woman in Ohio. It shows you that the legal system will never change, and white people will always be white people, and the system will always support this. But on the other hand, it let black women know in America that your bad behavior, doing what the F you want to do in society, going around, stealing, robbing, that the law will not be lenient with you. In this case, this woman who was shoplifting food from Target and was killed by the police shows that white people take their property as more sacred than a black person's life, and the legal system is going to support it. I think it's a time for a wake-up call for black women that in this society, their ratchet behavior is not tolerated by the mainstream white society. And then on another angle, I want to speak about is that the white people racist legal system and oppression of black people is being answered. And someone say how this case proved that it's not being answered. I'm going to show you in a different view or personal opinion that it is being answered. Even though this officer got away with killing this woman's life, and if she was a white woman, it would never went down like this, who was shoplifting. But how I can say that this oppression from the system against blacks will be resolved. It might not be resolved by the hands of blacks in America, but we could look in some other aspects in American society that it is being answered. And I'll give you a clear example. White kids are shooting up and killing up other white kids in the schools. And I noticed something is a trend in America. When the U.S. government, quote-unquote white people, fight against blacks, oppress non-white people, or we say people of color, no matter where it is in the world, you don't know the atrocities, you don't notice that the atrocities in America, white on white crime, or violent white on white crime, it's more prevalent. You don't notice that? Look at Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was a good example. When he got killed, he was trying, somebody asked him a question about gun violence in America. And this racist cracker, while he was talking, he was trying to blame black gangs or black people for the more contributing to the majority of gun violence. And while mid-sentence him talking, a white man shot him in the neck and killed him. That same day that incident happened with Charlie Kirk, a white kid shot up and killed some white students in the school the same day. And the same week of the Charlie Kirk incident and the white kids shooting up, killing up some kids, white kids in the school, some other white kids shot up and killed other white kids in another school. So I could say, when they commit crimes against us and the legal system support them with crimes against black people and violating black people's civil rights, there's some way, somehow, you will find that they themselves increase in violence against each other. So, even look at the incident of Palestine. U.S. government supports Israel in murdering and genocide against the Palestinian people for decades. But look when COVID hit. When COVID hit, you got a lot of death and murders. A lot of death, I'm sorry, not murder, but a lot of death related to COVID right here in the U.S. The numbers of death, even in New York, for COVID was sky high. And you can also find that New York has the largest population of Jews outside of Israel. And New York was the center of the epidemic of COVID and COVID cases and death of COVID. See how Allah works? You see how Allah works? So these people crimes against blacks and people of color do get answered. Sometimes it doesn't get direct answers from the actual victims or the family of the victims of police brutality, and black people are victims of racism and their civil rights are violated. But you find that God Almighty always have a way of seeking out justice for those who are oppressed. I just hope one day in the United States that black people will wake up from their own ignorance. I hope one day black people get a little more disciplined, a little more organized, so they can unite, change the system by first changing the problems within ourselves and our community, and unite and come and be better off as we're doing now. Because one day is going to come to this country where the evil is going to increase. The racism and the hatred towards blacks are going to increase. And if we're not prepared, there's a segment in the United States, or I could say a segment in the U.S. government, who definitely want to see black people wiped out. And we are going to one day have to deal with those situations. One day that racism, that hatred for blacks is going to be more severe than what it is now. And if we're not prepared, we're just going to be victims. We're just going to be victims. And if we don't come together, when we become victims, we're going to end up dying together. If we don't come together, we're going to end up dying together. So I hope this type of verdict today in the news about this police officer who killed this black woman who was, on top of that, she was pregnant in her car. I forgot to mention that. She was pregnant. Killed her and her baby. I hope one day black people will wake up and say, hey man, enough is enough. We have to make some changes in our community. We have to develop a system in a way to fight against this type of racism. Especially this racism when it's coming from the legal system against black people. And it's coming from law enforcement against black people. And it's coming out of the White House against black people.